Good morning, students. We have started with chapter number 3, that is public, private and global enterprises. We are on public sector enterprises and we have completed with the first kind of public sector enterprises, that is departmental undertaking. Today we are going to complete the next two kind of public sector enterprises. Second one is your statutory corporation. Now, these are those corporations which are being established and governed by the Act of Parliament. That means the special act of Parliament is being established in order to bring these particular corporations into the existence. Okay, examples of such kind of corporations are LIC, RBI. This particular special act of Parliament define all their powers, objectives and function for which they are being coming into the existence. Now, these particular corporations are suitable for those kind of enterprises which are requiring a huge investment. They run on that of the business line, but actually they are working in that of the public interest. Coming to that of the features or characteristics of a statutory corporation. Now, these corporations, as we know, it is being set up by passing a special act in the Parliament. Second one, these corporations are completely regulated by the act which define their objectives, powers and functions. Then they enjoy a separate identity. Why they enjoy separate identity? Because as a company their identity is different from its members. We have done already as a feature of joint stock company that the separate identity means that the identity of the corporation and the identity of the members who are actually forming it is quite different from one another. A corporation can on its own name enter into the contract, can purchase the property, can sell the property, can sue and be sued. This is known as your separate identity. Okay. Now, merits of a statutory corporation. No undesirable government regulations and control. Okay, as these are being formed by the special act of Parliament, so there are no undesirable government control over this. Next one, no government interference in the financial matters, and finances are arranged by them independently. Now, they arrange their finances independently by inviting the shares from that of the members. That is why there is no government interference in that of the financial matters of such kind of corporations. Next one, it enjoys the power of government while they were working independently as a private sector. Now, they are being settled and they are being established under the public sector, but they are working independently as a private enterprises. That is why they enjoy the dual advantage of being in a public sector also and working as a private enterprises also. Coming to the next one, that is demerits of statutory corporations. Now, these corporations need approval for any of its decision from the concerned act. Thus, they do not enjoy operational flexibility. What do you mean by operational flexibility? Your running of these particular activities of statutory corporation is known as operations. Okay, so wherever they are running any sort of operation or any sort of activity, they have to seek the permission first from the act, and then to see whether they are working within the permissible range of the act or not. So this limits their operational flexibility. These corporations involves investment of large amount of funds of general public, so there is always indirect interference of government. Now, as they are just raising the share finance with the help of that of by issuing the shares to their members and general public. So ultimately, India is a democratic country. So there is an indirect interference of government when they are just taking the money from that of or finance from that of the general public. Okay, so these two limitations are there. Coming to the next one, that is government company. That is, it is a third form of public sector enterprises. We have completed with departmental undertaking, statutory corporation. Now we're going to do government company. Now, a company in which at least 51% of the capital is either held by central government or by the state government or partly by central government and partly by state government, such kind of company is known as a government company. किसी कंपनी की जब 51% से ज़्यादा शेयर कैपिटल या तो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के पास हो या स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के पास हो या पार्टी या स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के पास हो पार्टी सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के पास हो, तो ऐसी कंपनी अपनी क्या कहलाती है? गवर्नमेंट कंपनी. एग्जाम्पल, Oriental Bank of Commerce, Hindustan Antibiotics Limited. These are the few examples which I have given to you for the government company. Coming to that of characteristics of government company. Now, as these are in the nature of company, they are being formed under the Companies Act 2013, and all the features which are applicable to the joint stock company like perpetual succession, artificial person, separate legal entity, common seal, these all are applicable to the government company also. Okay, perpetual succession means members may come, members may go, but it will not going to affect the existence of the company. Separate legal identity means the identity of the company and the shareholders who are forming it is quite different from one another. Then we have done artificial person. That means we are natural persons, but this particular companies act as an artificial person and it exists only in the eyes of law. Common seal, as we have our official signature, common seal is considered as the official signature of the company. So these all characteristics are also present in that of the government company. Next one, government company presents their annual report in the parliament. Now whatever they are doing in the whole of the year, that particular annual report has to be presented by government company in the parliament. Next one, the annual accounts of government companies are prepared by the auditors appointed by the central government. Now whatever accounts they are preparing, they have to just get it audited by the auditors which are being appointed by the central government. Okay. The companies are managed by the board of directors appointed by the central government. Okay. Now we know that all the companies are being managed by the panel of board of directors. Okay. So these board of directors are being appointed by the central government. Audit means inspection of the accounts. Inspection of account is being done by those auditors which are appointed by the central government. Okay. Merits of government company. These companies are very easy to establish under the Indian Companies Act. No specific act or ministry. See, in department, ministry concerned is required. In a statutory corporation, a special act of parliament is required. But here in this case, no specific act or ministry is required. Only few legal formalities are required to be complied with under the Companies Act 2013, and you can bring the government company into the existence. Okay. Next one, separate legal identity. Separate legal identity means the identity of that of the government company and that of the shareholders who are actually forming it is separate from one another. A government company cannot own on its own name, can enter into the contract, can purchase the property, can sell out the property, can enter into the contracts, can sue and be sued. Okay. Now suing means filing up of the case. Since in government companies, remaining shares is held by the private persons, professional management of activities is possible. Now here, 51% of the capital is being held by the government. Rest of the capital is in the hand of private person. Therefore, professional management of activities is possible in case of government companies. Next one, demerits of government company. Now, the government company being major shareholder exercises control over the management which makes provisions of Companies Act irrelevant. Now, here majority of the shareholding or the capital is being held by the government. That is why government exercises the control over all such things, making the provisions of Companies Act as irrelevant. Okay. Here provisions of act becomes set aside as apart, and whatever is being decided by the government is applicable to them. The government companies are not answerable to the parliament, thus there is no accountability. Hence, they are not answerable to the parliament. That is why in the previous one we have seen that they are being special act of parliament. That is why they are accountable over here. There is no accountability as such in case of government company, and that is why they are not working properly. So here we have completed with our chapter number 3, that is public, private and global enterprises, and up till this you will going to have your course for your October-November examination. Have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.